to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first web TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of hypnotherapy. My name is Lisa Machenberg, and I'll be your host, covering a wide variety of subjects to help you understand the power of the subconscious mind and how hypnosis is being used today to help people achieve success, happiness, and prosperity. It is my privilege to introduce my very special guest. Well, my first guest is Ania Koval. Now, Ania is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and she has with her her very special guest, Martine. Now, Martine came in to visit Ania to overcome some emotional blocks. Please help me welcome my guests. Martine, I'd like to start with you. Tell me what was going on in your life.
Well, you know, I was stressed, a lot of financial stress. I had set some very high goals for myself, and I was running up against everything that would tell me I wouldn't achieve them.
Yeah.
And it was really, lots of tears, frustration, you know, even a little bit of depression and discouragement. And
sounds very discouraging, very frustrating.
It was very much.
Yes. And what made you think about hypnotherapy?
Well, actually, I didn't think about hypnotherapy until I met Ania.
Really? Tell me about that.
Well, we met each other at a business networking event.
Excellent.
And she actually sat next to me at the table, and we just began to chit-chat. And in the course of doing business, we made a connection and decided to, you know, have a follow-up conversation. And then during that process, she actually came to an event that I invited her to. And then it just kind of went from there.
Beautiful. So I have to ask, I know why you were at the networking meeting. What is the nature of your business?
Well, I am an associate for a company called Univera, and we are a nutraceutical company.
Wow.
And so we help people with their health through natural products.
So you have so much in common here
Yes.
with alternative, complementary, and integrative medicine.
That's right, and that was the attraction.
I'll tell you what I love about this. There are so many ways that clients and hypnotherapists find each other in doing networking, knowing each other from business, seeing each other as professionals. What a wonderful way to gain that confidence and begin that relationship. So, Ania, I'm going to go with you. When you are dealing with somebody who has emotional blocks, this level of frustration, this level of just feeling a bit overwhelmed, what kind of an induction would you recommend?
I would recommend to start definitely with relaxation. We have used a progressive relaxation with muscle tightening.
With muscle tightening, can you teach us this
breathing
method?
techniques. Yeah, I kind of tighten all together. So when we start off with a progressive relaxation, I would have my client Martine to actually pay attention to the different parts of her body, and as she tightened it, and I would count down, she would release it with the exhale. And at the same time, she would inhale the appropriate words that I would tell her, like calm, relax, comfortable, and release it with tightening the muscles, which basically helps your body to drop even deeper into relaxation after you tighten it and then release. That was a progressive relaxation that we used.
With a tightening. What was that like for you?
Well, you know, I had not experienced that particular type of activity before, and so I just trusted her and went with it.
Beautiful.
And it was very helpful.
Did you know anything about hypnosis before you met Ania at the networking meeting?
I had been hypnotized one other time years and years ago, but it was nothing like the experience I had with her. I had a traumatic experience when I was younger, and it started to get released and show up in my life. So I went to a counselor, and she used a wheel.
Oh, wow.
But I honestly, I didn't particularly feel hypnotized.
How about with this tightening and releasing induction? Did you feel the change in going from a full waking state into a light alpha or trance state?
Well, you know, I did feel more relaxed, and she did a number of things. I don't even remember the order because we actually had talked quite a bit before I got in the chair. So just, you know, what I learned about it was she was really connecting into what was going on. So since she was able to speak my language, or understand what I was trying to communicate. That also helped me relax.
Absolutely. And there's a little neuro-linguistic programming for you, which is just really hearing your client. And by using your client's metaphors and language and symbols, you really can connect in with the inner workings. What did you do next?
The next thing that I went to was looking for the conflict inside, because right away when Martine came to me, she said that the part of me wants to succeed, and I don't know that there's another part that's trying to stop me from it. So right away I kind of, started working on that conflict. I used a lot of NLP, and I used what's called, in one language they call it visual squash, in NLP they called it a parts integration.
Visual squash? Is that squash like the game with a small ball, or is it like squish squash?
It's a squish squash of the internal conflicting parts. So we kind of like got this part out where she was concentrating, she was talking to that part that was stopping her, and the part that wanted her to succeed. And we know that every part of our behavior has a meaning, and there's a higher intention for it. So what we did, we brought out this higher intention for both of these parts, and then we have them come together. And so we actually inserted back into her body after she visually squashed them, like when they come together. So that eliminated the initial conflict and helped her to regain the energy and start focusing on actual goal, which is the outcome that she wanted to.
I like it. Martine, when you were able to talk to the part that was not succeeding or sabotaging, I don't know if that's too strong a word, were you surprised by what it had to say?
Yeah, I actually really, that was a turning point exercise for me. I really got it because I'm a visual person and I'm really in touch with my body. So when she had me, work on the two parts and then bring them together like this and then put it back whole in me, I really, really resonated with that. So the physical activity, the emotional, and then the visualization really worked for me.
Yes. And as Ania said, we looked at the higher intention of both of those things. What was the highest intention of succeeding in your nutraceutical? Nutraceutical. I got to get that right.
It's all about plants.
It's all about the plants. The nutraceutical business. What was the highest intention with that?
Well, really, my highest intention is to help people, to help people heal their lives like I've been able to do with mine. And of course, I have a desire to create abundance in my own life through doing that, because I think that's, the yin and yang of living. You provide a service that's truly helpful to people, and then there is a desire and a deservingness of being rewarded for that.
I like it. Well, my other question, and tell me if it's okay to ask this question, what was the higher intention of the sabotage?
I really believe it was to protect me. It was an old pattern. In retrospect, I can see it now. It was an old pattern. I really related it to my father, actually.
Yes.
And warning me about getting too far out of my comfort zone, or quote unquote what was safe and stable, and because I've taken a lot of risks in order to pursue my goals with Univera, and I think that's what the voice was trying to protect me.
Yes.
But it was really a negative voice for me.
So once you saw the wisdom of what he was telling you, and that it was his journey and his fear, not yours, we were able to squish.
Yeah.
Ania, do you have 3 of your finest post-hypnotic suggestions for anyone who's struggling with emotional blocks?
Yes, of course. My number 1 suggestion that I always use, and every therapy that I have is, of course, is each and every day your resistance to positive change lowers. The second suggestion that I use is venting. I suggest in hypnosis that each and every night your mind is going to vent out all of the stresses of the day and all of the negatives. And my third one would be the resistance to the change. Like, here we work a lot on self-esteem, also and confidence. So I would suggest that, each and every day your confidence is growing, And the more you're trying to resist, the harder it becomes.
I like it. There's a paradox wrapped in an enigma.
There
right
you go.
Well, Martine, the proof is in the pudding. Can you tell us, how is your business?
Well, you know, it's going well. I haven't reached the goals that I've set for myself, but what has happened is I've reset. I let go of that over-emotionalism that I was experiencing. I guess you could call it a level of depression and self-doubt. And now I feel really calm and peaceful. I was telling Ania on the way over here, I started to attract people who are along the lines of the people that I want to work with and also possibly have in my business with me as partners. So that's very, very exciting.
That sounds really exciting. What would you recommend to anybody who is thinking about a hypnotherapist?
Definitely you should try hypnotherapy. I think for me, the single deciding factor was that I developed a connection with her. I trusted her, and she was very generous to me.
So hypnotherapy is good, and Ania is stellar. Is that what you're telling us?
That's right. That's awesome.
Well, it appears that we're out of time for today, and we need to take a short break. But when we come back, we're going to meet another hypnotherapist and learn how we can use hypnotherapy for nail biting and hand biting. But before we go, I want to thank my clients so much. I want to thank Martine, and I wanted to thank Ania Koval, and everyone's going to want to learn more about your unique and wonderful methods. And you can reach Ania Koval at HMIgrads.com. Stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis Today. Now, Ania is an honors grad of HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and she has with her her very special guest, Martine. Now, Martine came in to visit Ania to overcome some emotional blocks. Please help me welcome my guests. Martine, I'd like to start hypnotherapy. My name is Lisa Machenberg, and I'll be your host, covering a wide variety of subjects to help you understand the power of the subconscious mind and how hypnosis is being used today to help people achieve success, happiness, and prosperity. It is my privilege to introduce my very special guest. Well, my first guest is Ania Koval.
Frustration, you know, even a little bit of depression and discouragement. And
sounds very discouraging, very frustrating.
It was very much.
Yes. And what made you think about hypnotherapy?
Well, actually, I didn't think about hypnotherapy until I met Ania.
Really? Welcome to Hypnosis Today, the nation's first web TV talk show that explores the fascinating world of... Start with you. Tell me what was going on in your life.
Well, you know, I was stressed, a lot of financial stress. I had set some very high goals for myself, and I was running up against everything that would tell me I wouldn't achieve them.
Yeah.
And it was really, lots of tears, frustration.